Alright, this is a challenge video. I got some stones from my friend Angelo from Austria. Okay, so these all appear to be raw stones, and he did some work already on these. I'm going to try to refine these down and figure out what needs to be done to make them thinner, and I'm going to also break into these other nodules and stones to see how they knap. At first glance, they look pretty tough. This material looks quite difficult to work as far as flint and chert goes. This one is an interesting one here. This one might be easy to knap, but this has got chalk on the outside. The other ones have limestone. Let's see. These appear to be chalk on the outside, so these should knap well. But the other ones appear to be limestone on the outside, and I think this is a quartzite, so very, very difficult. Let's see. I don't know what to start with first. I suppose I can refine these bifaces as I go. Just look at them and see. These are his attempts to make bifaces. This is a very tough material. This one here. It doesn't look too bad though. It looks like it would respond well to heat treatment. Alright, let's see. I am going to use steel on these. Usually when I am encountering difficult stone, I'll use the steel. Okay. So the first impression is these stones need to be ground down a lot before you strike. And in comparison to stones that I've worked, these are difficult materials. This is a difficult material. Those two lighter colors are difficult, but the darker ones they don't seem to be as difficult material to work. This is similar to Georgetown or Edwards Plateau Chert in Texas. This is similar to some of the stuff we have in Texas also. Now I'm going to be very, very careful because I don't want to break these. Yeah, they're going to require lots of abrading and very hard hits. I already took 2 strikes and deposited steel on both strikes, so this is very difficult, hard material. Another deposit of steel right there. All right, so I can tell what it's going to take to knap this. All right, so it's going to take a while. All right, this video may take a while. All right, let's see. I switched over to a smaller steel tool so I can get in here and attack these platforms with a little more concentrated force. Yeah. The trick to this kind of material is just grinding a lot before you strike, and then strike very hard. Yeah. The strikes have to be relatively hard. This is not as difficult as Rhyolite. It does knap. Or it does flake well enough to thin it down. I will be able to thin it down. It's already very narrow, so it'll be difficult, but it's not impossible. It helps to concentrate the force. Okay, so I thinned down the tip. Now I'm going to switch the tool to a larger tool and begin thinning the rest of the piece. Yeah, this is a mid-grade or a middle-grade jerk. It grinds down easily, which is good because it needs to be ground down quite a bit before you strike it. Okay, so I'm going to try to preserve the width on here, but I might not be able to do a very good job preserving the width. It depends on how easy this is to flake. It's not too bad, but I consider it a mid-grade between terrible and good. Somewhere in there. So what I'm doing is I'm just preparing the edge for future strikes. It is possible to thin it down, as you can see. The hard part right now is working with the lumps in the middle to try to flatten it. It's difficult on a piece like this because it moves as you strike it. With a fatter piece, it's easier to hold on to and you can drive flakes easier. This one will move a lot, but it's not impossible. One other challenging thing about this is I don't know how easy it snaps in half. You know, it may snap in half as I'm trying to thin. I don't know how easy it snaps in half yet. This is the only piece of this I've worked. But I'll find out. Well, I hope I don't find out, but I might find out how easy it snaps. Okay. Yeah, I have to hit this extremely hard, okay? So that's the key. That's the secret. Very hard hits. And lots of grinding. So I'm going to have to prepare platforms in this case specifically to try to thin down certain areas. There's a quartz crystal pocket there that might interfere. It also appears to be better in some areas than others for flaking. It's not consistent all the way through. There's some areas where it's not cooperative. But in general, this is not a difficult piece once you grind it and hit it hard. It is possible to run long flakes on this piece. I have to apply some pressure in order to get the flakes to travel. Yeah. A little bit of pressure against the tool before I strike. I have to drop the edge down. Very tough, so you can see that it's eating my tool for lunch. Nope, it didn't work. It would probably be much easier after heat treatment. So I would start the heat treatment about 350 degrees Fahrenheit and try that to see how that works. And then if it does not work very well, I would put it back in and heat it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit and try it and see if it works better. And just keep raising the temperature by 50 degrees, 50 degrees every time to see how it works. It's best to test flakes and not a biface. Yeah, very hard hits. Very hard hits work well on this material. Okay. It feels almost like a quartzite. Yeah, it's a mid-grade chert. That's what it feels like. All right, let's see if I can quickly thin this down now that I have a good feel for it. It feels interesting. It feels kind of velvety, and not rough. It's not smooth, but it's not rough. It's in between. It's like a velvety feel, like some high-grade quartzites. Some high-grade quartzites feel this way. Alright, I'm going to switch to a smaller tip because I don't want to lose a lot of width, and the smaller tip will help me to preserve the width. I can remove small flakes that should travel far. I mean, narrow flakes that should travel far. Yeah, well, that one was not narrow. That was good. I thought it was going to be narrow, but it turned out to be quite wide. Let's see. I just need to stop worrying about breaking it. And just nap it like any other stone. Yeah, I have to hit that very, very hard. Probably should put the glove back on. Yeah. I felt that one on my finger. Usually with indirect percussion you don't feel it very much, but when it's a hard material, yeah, sometimes you feel it. So I am just going to opportunistically remove flakes. Now the edge quality is better now, but it's still not good enough to try to start thinning it. So I've got to improve the edge a little more. I can start driving some of the thinning flakes, but there are obstacles and other things. Like very steep angles that I have to figure out how I'm going to strike on those. But if I make it more regular, everything becomes easier. It does respond well to the pressure flaking. Yeah, and this material down here is a little bit easier to nap than in the middle. I have to close the windows in my van. It's going to rain. I'll be right back. Okay, where was I? It's starting to thunder outside and the wind is picking up. All right, so I was pressure flaking it. All right. Using my cheater method to push off on the front of these step fractures. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. This material's not bad. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to do some heavy pressure. Yeah, it seems to respond well to pressure. Yeah. What I'm trying to do is create long flakes, so it's producing big bulbs. It's not really working with the longer flakes very well. But we'll see. If I improve the edge, I should be able to run some longer flakes. This side is pretty flat. It's not too bad. It should be flatter. In a perfect world, this would be flatter. I'm going to send in a few more flakes to try to get it flat on this side, and then I'll work on this side to get this side flat. I think I want to take a flake here somewhere to make this flatter here. I don't like the idea too much because it's going to make it very narrow in this area. If I take a flake right now in that area, it'll make it too narrow, so I'll get that later. I'll remove this fat spot later. Yeah, very hard hits. I'm in danger of breaking the whole thing. With these very hard hits, it creates a very big bulb, which makes the edge very thin, so it makes it difficult for the next pass. But there are some thick spots that I'm going to take advantage of. See if I can do some more thinning. Yeah. This requires extremely hard hits. All right. And even with the very, very hard hits, it doesn't always send a long flake. Sometimes it does, but I think what's happening is it's moving too much and losing energy and not traveling because it is narrow. That's better. That's what they all should be doing. But I was having trouble with some of these. Yeah. There is a danger I could break this at any time. I am hitting it hard enough to break it. Why is it not breaking if I'm hitting it hard enough to break it? Because I'm getting used to what it can do. So I am pushing my luck, but not too much. I know they could break, so I'm depending a little bit on luck not to break it. Yeah. Should be using the smaller tool here near the tip. Yeah, okay. Okay, so to get it thinner, I just need to make the edges more regular and do another percussion pass. Let's see. So it's just a matter of patiently wearing it down. Now there's no particular order or strategy here. I'm just randomly, well, I was just randomly picking the other edge. Now I'm going down this side toward me. And I don't know the logic why I do it randomly sometimes and then sometimes I don't. I just see an issue and then I try to address the issue. I don't see any major issues on this side, so I'm just going to take the pass all the way down. I suppose that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. But every time I do a pressure pass, it makes it more narrow. Seems like a lot more narrow, especially after I abrade it. So I can't do too many of these pressure passes. The object is to thin it down without losing too much width. I'm just experimenting right now to see what it would take to thin down that point. It was pretty thin before, but I want to put in some nice flakes. Let's see, if I have difficulty with the stone, I have difficulty putting in nice flakes. Yeah, that's the issue. All right, try it again. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's as far as I want to go with the thinness. If I go further, we'll probably break it. But to make thin points out of this, you need to break a few. But I don't have a lot of this material, so I'm not going to do that. You have to get used to the limit of the stone. it demands that you apply more force than you think you need, which puts it in danger of breaking almost with every strike. And the mistakes don't like to be fixed. They don't like it when you try to fix them. Which is typical with a low grade or a medium grade chert. See, sometimes it'll map well and sometimes it doesn't. And when I try to put too much pressure, that's what happens. It demands that you use more force than what you think you should use. And I think it's going to be the same way with some of those other stones. I'm just trying to make it symmetrical, but it's not working all that well. And trying to stay thin. See, the more I remove the edge, the more the width, the thickness ratio gets affected, and I'm right back where it started as far as the ratio goes. But I don't dare go any thinner than this on video. Yeah. So that's it for this particular piece. I'm not going to try to do more work on the symmetry. I'll just leave it like this. Let's go on to the next piece. I'm curious to see how this one works. I can already tell that the edges are not ground down enough. This is what you call a briquette. Yeah. All right, I'm going to use aluminum on this one. It's called a briquette because it's almost exactly the same dimension as a charcoal briquette. It's actually nice. Very similar to Georgetown or Edwards Plateau Church. Georgetown Flint or high grade Edwards Plateau. All right. Yeah. Relatively easy to nap. Much easier than that other material down there. But I do have to hit hard on this as well. All right, let's see. Yeah, I do have to hit hard on it. I just don't know where I'm going to take the next strikes. Those two were easy on the corners. Same issue with this one. It's got too much thickness on one side. You know, one side is more bulbous than the other, or more convex than the other. Usually what I try to do is flatten one side first and then work on the other side. That way, as I'm flattening this side, the edge moves this way so I can attack the turtleback. The turtleback is the elephant in the room. Yep. Why did I choose aluminum? Because it's a larger piece. I want to remove larger flakes, and this is a larger tool. But also I don't want to crush the edges in case it's very delicate, and this material is a little bit delicate as far as the edge crushing goes. So yeah, I don't want to crush the edges. But I may switch back to steel if I have to hit it really, really hard with the aluminum. I don't know what the names of these materials are. And it doesn't matter to me if I know the names or not. It matters to some people because that's how they look for stone. They just have to know the name of it when they go looking for it. Or they ask around, do you have any of blah 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 for sale? You got to know the name of it, yeah. But even if someone does have that for sale, it may not nap like this. Yeah. All stone is different. It's a natural material. There's an issue right here, but that's pretty typical. There's always a bad spot. If I improve this edge, I might be able to send a flake in to take that out. But this particular piece naps very easy in comparison to that. Okay. Alright, so we took care of that lump. And now I can try to start to attack the turtleback after I do the tip. Hold on. Hold on. Alright, it's flat enough. Yes, maybe. One more. It's very flat. Okay, so now we start to attack the other side. First by brushing. This also moves the edge this way. It removes delicate areas. I hit like this. It's called brushing. Or some nappers call it brushing. And then just braiding, abrading in opportunistic ways, just whatever. The whole thing. And then look to see if there's any good spots to strike. I work on the ends first. Thin the ends down first. Okay. It wants me to hit it very hard, just like the other stone. Yeah, so this is thinner now. I need to thin it more. Alright, so this is thin. Now I gotta thin the tip. I don't see any other good areas, so now I have to try to fix the edge to create a good area. For my next strike. I don't think I made this flat enough, but oh well. Somehow there seems to be cracks in the stone, or different spots that are not consistent. So same procedure again. brushing. Maybe looking for opportunities. I'll interrupt myself sometimes right in the middle of brushing if I see an opportunity. Then I'll go back to brushing it again. So I saw an opportunity right there. There's another one here, but that's not that good. Yeah. Opportunity to go that way, but it's not that good, so let's go to the steel. The aluminum seems to be too soft. Okay, yes. Let's switch back to the aluminum just to see. Yeah. The problem is I'm trying a little too hard to send flakes, and I'm not paying attention to the overall workpiece. It's too thin right here. Yeah. These are difficult. These turtlebacks, when it gets to this stage, you have to hit extremely hard. Harder than you want to hit. But you don't have a choice. It does nap easier than that material that I started with, but it does want me to hit it very hard, just like I thought. For some reason, the stone is very tough. There it goes. Requires a very hard hit with steel, or copper would work also. It's very tough, but it's napping well. Yeah, I can probably thin this thinner than the other material. It looks a little bit inconsistent, but it's not too bad. It just looks a little inconsistent, but it's not bad. No, it's not too bad. Very tough. I have to hit this very, very hard. Yeah, it's very, very dicey. But that's what it requires. It demands that you hit it very, very hard. Alright. I still like it though. It's not bad. Yeah, this is very similar to a Texas medium grade chert. Maybe a little higher grade than medium. I say medium mainly because it is tough. It feels a little inconsistent. And I have napped material that's much better. The real test is to see how it likes being thinned down. I don't know if it likes being thinned very thin. We'll see. Yeah, okay. So far, so good. Yeah. Those inconsistencies, though, they do that. Oh, yes. They will do this or cause those types of flaws. Very tough. But I think some people like stone that feels tough like this. Or it's their favorite. I like it, but it's not my favorite. Okay. Alright, we're going to have to try a different strategy. Can't just think that it's going to be easy to flake. Nope. Can't think it's going to be easy. I have to be very careful. And and at the same time hit it harder than I think I need to hit it. Yeah, that's risky, very risky. To get it thin is very risky. Have that one less lump in the middle, and there's no easy way to get it. That's not gonna work like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make it more narrow on this side. This material feels a little bit velvety also. Yeah. It's not waxy and it's not rough. It's velvety. It's in between. Very interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna let this run until I get this thin, and then I'll join the two videos together and upload that, and then do another set of videos. I'm gonna nap all of this stuff, so it may take 3 or 4 hour-and-a-half videos. So you could take up to 5 hours to nap through all of it. I might not do it all today because I got to do a lot of other stuff. Oh, it pressure flakes well. This is nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, with the small tip and the big tip. Oh yeah, pressure flakes very well. Oh yes, okay. Okay. It's kind of bouncy, this stuff. It's very flexible. Very interesting. I can feel it bounce. You know what I mean? I can feel it's somehow bouncy when you remove a flake. It's not just straight crack. It's got a little bit of bounce to it. Which means it has good flexibility. But I don't want to take a chance in hitting it too hard. I can probably hit it harder than I've been hitting it. So that's the last of the problem areas. Oops. If I don't install another problem area, there's one there. I want to get that area. Oh, I can't take a shortcut. It's not letting me take a shortcut. I thought I would just pop a little bulb out in that area, but no, it doesn't want me to. Okay. See, it doesn't want me to pop just a little bulb, but that's it. That's all. What's going on? Yeah, it doesn't want to do it. All right, fine. You don't want to do it. I think I'll upload this. Yeah, I'm going to upload this. And then I'll finish on a different day, like tomorrow. I'll do some every day on this. How's that? I can't do all of this today because I have other things to do. I don't like doing everything at the last minute for the auction. I got some auction stuff I need to do. So I try to spread out the auction stuff over a period of 3 or 4 days instead of crunching it all in the last day. I've done that before. Come on. It doesn't want to do the simple shortcuts. It doesn't like the shortcuts. Nope. But when it cooperates, it's very nice. Yeah, it's actually quite nice when it cooperates. Let's see this little area that didn't want to bulb earlier. Now you're doing it. Okay. You like pressure better. That's fine. I don't care. Just as long as you don't break. You break it, then you tick me off. But right now, yeah. No big deal. You don't like shortcuts? That's fine. Sometimes you gotta really lean into it. Okay, fine. But yeah, it's like a tough Edwards Plateau shirt. Yep, that's what it feels like. But it's not the crackly type of tough Edwards Plateau. These terminations feather out nicely because it's got some flexibility and some bounce. I can actually feel the bounce to this stuff. It's very nice. In terms of strength, it seems to be very strong and flexible. But sometimes that makes it not so easy to knap. I can get it pretty thin. So on the next video, I'm going to continue with this piece and try to thin it down even more, right? Yeah. Totally different material than that, but yeah, I can get that pretty thin probably. My usual 6:1 or whatever. Yeah. But I don't want to get too too confident, because it wants me to hit it very, very hard, and that's when it gets dicey. That's when it gets a little bit too risky. I can't take shortcuts with this stuff. Yeah, it doesn't mind being thinned down. This is the good part. See that? That's a thinning flake. It does not resist those very much, as long as I do it right. Yeah. See, that platform wasn't that great, or that striking area wasn't that great, but this one was better. It requires some grinding for sure before striking. It's got to be enough grinding. Yeah, it'll thin down. Okay, I'm gonna stop here in a minute. Yeah, I don't want to wear myself out for the other stuff I'm going to be making. I'll stop here in a minute. Yeah, okay, so it terminates nicely. The flakes terminate well. It's not that difficult to thin down. So yeah, it's good stuff. Alright, so I'll just take a snapshot of the thumbnail and then upload what I got. Oops. Yes. Can't see that one. Okay.